Well, the old 175 runs like a top. You know, I bought this brand new in 1972, I think. It was right off the showroom floor, Rick Case Honda in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. And it was my first brand new motorcycle. I think I was 16 years old when I bought it. Had it licensed. It was street legal at the time. And I rode that thing all over the place. I don't know, what's the mileage? It's like 10,170 miles on it. So it did me well over the many years that I rode it. And but it took a lot of abuse. I have 4 brothers, and I don't know, and a son. So I'm sure every one of them had their opportunity to have a little abuse with it too, but recently it was completely shot. It wouldn't run. It was in really bad condition. And so I spent last winter completely rebuilding it, getting it up and running again. And it's a lot of fun. Now my clutch is slipping just a little bit. Maybe one of these, maybe next winter I'll split the case, put a new clutch in it, and do it that. But I can ride it around as long as I'm not too hard on the throttle and ripping on that clutch. It's a lot of fun. You know, I gotta enjoy myself sometimes and just play. I can't be all work. But I have been putting a lot of work into this place. Springtime always brings on a lot of labor for me. This is my second load of bark mulch that I've spread this spring so far. Not to mention the 2 yards of mushroom compost that I put on the vegetable garden. So you see I still got about half a load of this to spread, and I've got a couple bigger areas that I can get rid of that pretty quick. Not today though. I worked this morning in the yard and it wore me down. I've been on this keto diet, carnivore diet. I can eat meat, cheese, vegetables, salads, you know, butter, sour cream, anything fattening, but I just can't have any sugars, 0 sugars, and 0 starches, which is, you know, like rice and pasta and potatoes and root vegetables. None of that. So it's a tough diet to be on. I mean, it's good because you can eat all the meat you want. You can eat bacon. You can eat all the cheese you want. But your body craves sugar. You know, my body lived on sugar before. And now without sugar, my body goes into like this shock. And I'm out here working and all of a sudden I feel like I'm going to pass out. Even though I've eaten eggs and yeah, just a lot of good food, but just cutting out the sugar and the starches. And I've already lost 15 pounds in like 2 weeks, so it's going down. I feel a little bit better, but I got a ways to go. But this morning I was going to show you, this morning I finished up my herb garden. So I planted zinnias in here. All my irises are in full, not all of them, but a lot of them are in full bloom. I still have a couple varieties that still have yet to blossom, but they're beautiful. I got my lavender here. This is Silver King and Artemisia Sweet Annie, which will get, you know, about 5 foot high, very aromatic. And then my asparagus is doing okay too. Now what I didn't know is you got to let asparagus grow for at least 2 or 3 years before you can start harvesting it. So this is the very first year for it. And it's just got some nice, real frilly, you know, little bushes. But maybe 2 years from now I can harvest some asparagus. And then I got those Japanese irises that are very invasive. They just keep expanding out. It was just a little tiny patch of them before, but they choke out everything in their way, and they just, so I might dig those out and move them someday. But they're pretty. They're just I just don't want them to completely take it. I mean, they actually started sprouting all different places around here, like went to seed. So I had to pull those out, and boy, they got some roots on them. But anyway, yeah, a lot of work, and my spring work is, the workload is coming to an end, and then from there it'll just be mowing the grass, pulling a couple weeds, tending to the vegetable garden, and of course the housework. But today, or this afternoon anyways, I'm just going to take it easy, just playing a little bit, you know, riding a motorcycle around the yard, which is really fun. Brings me back to my youth again, and I really enjoy that. Another flower that I absolutely adore, Vals little clematis, which is doing pretty good because this is the first year that it's climbed up almost 5 foot high. And it's got a lot of flowers on it. In the past it's had 1, maybe 2 flowers. This year I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 flowers on that thing. And it's doing very healthy, so maybe next year it'll really double in size. I like it. Now, aside from that, something snapped off one of my tomatoes. I'm not sure what might have done that. I don't know if it's going to recover or not. I've tried to nurse it a little bit, and it might recover, but then it might not. Just to give you a little idea about what you're breathing when you're outside. I don't know if you can see that, but that's all pollen laying on top of the pond back there. The wind's blowing it that way, and it kind of collects over there like a sheet of you know, whitish stuff. That's all pollen off of the trees. So when you're outside and they say there's a high pollen count, that's what you're getting. And these pines, those things are producing tons of pollen right now, and that's probably mostly what is over there on the pond today. It's off of these pine trees. They look like pine cones, but they're actually like pollen flowers. I'm gonna have a seat in the shade for a while if you'll join me. I have my 2 porch seats out here. My beautiful wife used to sit there next to me, and she liked to spend a lot of time out here just relaxing, listening to the wren sing its little song, and just enjoying the splendor of springtime or summertime. You know, I haven't been going up to the biker bar. I talked about that earlier. Part of my diet plan is absolutely 0 alcohol, so I haven't had any beer probably in the last 3 weeks. Just cut out drinking completely because alcohol is the worst thing you can do for a diet. That'll just void and null your diet right now. But I stopped drinking, and so I thought, well, if I'm not drinking, there's no sense in me going up to the bar and hanging out either, because they'll just push beers on me. Of course, I can always say no and just drink water. But it's the environment that's bothered me lately. Now, this past Mother's Day weekend, there's a little biker bar probably about 20 miles from here. Not too different than the one that I usually go to that's only about 3 miles away. They're kind of excuse me, kind of like a sister bar to the one that I go to, because they have Wednesday night poker runs, and this bar that's 20 miles away is one of the stops. Well, over Mother's Day weekend, there were some people hanging out at the bar, and they were having a good old time, and it was pushing on 11 p.m. Now, first of all, it leads me to wonder, why are you still hanging out at a bar at 11 p.m.? Obviously, you've been pretty well, you know, lubed up at that point. You don't go to a bar at 11 p.m. to have a beer. So most of those people are hang-ons that have been there through a good part of the evening and they're still there at 11 p.m. Well, two of these older gentlemen got pretty inebriated and they started an argument, and the argument led to a fight where they were actually at fisticuffs. There happened to be a young biker there that pretty well liked, nice guy, but he thought, I better go break it up. So he got up out of his seat and he went over there and he started trying to break these two guys up. Well, one of the older morons pulled out a handgun and shot him. Killed him dead right there on the barroom floor. Yeah, this was Mother's Day weekend, not 20 miles from here. So, a really sad situation. But it just leaves you to wonder, Like I said, it's the environment. You got people gathering together, some of them strangers who you don't know. People that are drinking, some of them drinking heavily. Who knows what they were drinking? Liquor, beers, I don't know. But they got to the point where they were out of control and couldn't control their tempers anymore. And, just started beating on each other. And then one of them was stupid enough to pull out a gun and fire it. And he shot the innocent guy that was just trying to break up the fight. Sad, sad story. There's a lot of grief about the situation. The bar shut down. They just shut down. They just said, wow, we need just some time to think about this. It makes me wonder about the bar owners, I mean, the biker bar that I go to, the woman that owns the bar there, I know she has her days, and I can't imagine what it takes to operate a bar. I mean, you're not going to have fights in there every day, but you're going to have to deal with a bunch of drunks. And, maintaining a level of peace in there and trying to keep your customers happy has got to be extremely difficult when you're running a bar. The stress level's got to be through the roof, and I don't know why anybody would ever want to do that. I guess it takes a certain type of person, but it's definitely not me. So, will I ever drink again? I don't know. I'm going to see how long I can do this diet. It's a rough diet to be on because it drains me physically really quick. It's like that sugar just gave me all kinds of energy, and now that I'm not doing sugar, I have like zero energy. I push myself, I go out and I do what I have to do, and I work and I work and I work, but like today, it wasn't even that hot out, and I just started getting real dizzy where a couple times I actually thought I was going to pass out. And I just said, all right, I got to call it quits. I went in the house. I was drinking plenty of water, but I drank some more water. I got something to eat. I ate some fresh strawberries and some blueberries, and that helped. Just the natural sugars, helped me out a little bit. And that's part of it. That's on the diet. Strawberries, fresh strawberries, no sugar, and fresh blueberries. But like any diet, you got to kind of watch your calories too. You can't overdo things. So I've been trying not to overeat. I used to overeat a lot. When I made a pot of spaghetti, there's no stopping me. I love, love, love spaghetti. And I'd have one big plate full, and I'd go back and fill another plate full and eat that until I was bloated. Well, those are all high carbs. That's the worst thing you can do. Same with rice. I loved eating rice, and I would just pile the rice on my plate, and pour the sauce all whatever the recipe was, and loved the rice. Potatoes, baked potatoes, sweet potatoes, mashed potatoes. They were always on my menu, and including root vegetables like beets or squashes or things like that. Potatoes are like a root vegetable. They grow under the ground. Anything that grows under the ground. Now you can eat carrots. They're a root vegetable, but you can eat that. Um, but a lot of things you got to be careful with. Anyway, hopefully I can lose some pounds. The more weight I lose, the better I feel physically. I did have to go to the doctor last week. I was having a chronic pain in my lower left side in the back, just under my rib cage. And it was deep, like not muscular, not on the exterior, but really deep inside. And it was hurting me. Even when I was in bed, it hurt me. And it hurt me when I was up during the day. And not so much exercising or bending over or doing anything like that, like a normal back pain would bother you. No, this just bothered me randomly. So I was very concerned about it. I thought, I'm not going to let this go. Maybe it's a kidney stone or something. I don't know. Well, I went to the doctor. They did x-rays and everything, and they said, really, they didn't see anything. And they said if I had a kidney stone, it probably would have shown up on the x-ray. But they said no kidney stone to be seen. So what the pain is from, I have no idea. I've had a little bit of it today still. I just pray it kind of goes away. Because I don't want to find out down the road that they missed something and then, find out that I got a tumor or something that they didn't see. No, that wouldn't be good. And I hate going to the doctor. I hate calling the doctor. I never call the doctor unless I feel it's like getting serious. So it gives you a little idea of what level I was at there. I was starting to get real concerned because this pain has been with me for probably 3 months now. And it doesn't seem to be going away. But anyway, that's done. The doctor gave me I don't know if he gave me 2 thumbs up, but he gave me 1 thumbs up. So I guess I'm okay to go for now. Other than that, I think I've been pretty healthy for my age and keep pushing myself. I hope the same for you guys too. Keep yourselves in good health. Watch your weight. And I know that's easy to say. It's very difficult, especially when you're in a habit of doing things certain ways. Being retired like I am, one of the keys to retirement is stay active. It doesn't mean riding around on a motorcycle or riding around in your truck or riding on the lawnmower. It means stay physically active. Find things to do physically. If you don't have something to do physically, get your daily exercise. Walk. Go to the gym. Do something. I've got plenty of work here to do. Chainsaw, tilling, gardening, shoveling, planting. Oh, that's the other thing I didn't show you. But I bought a brand new lilac bush. I planted it out there by the corner of the barn. I don't know if you can see it out there. Probably the wheelchair ramp might be in the way. But I busted out my wallet and bought a lilac. This will be the 3rd lilac that I planted, and the other 2 died over the past years. So hopefully this one's supposed to be a very hardy strain, disease resistant. So hopefully it does well. And I went to Rural King. I don't know if you've ever been to Rural King. I love Rural King. It's my favorite store. It's like a Cabela's for hillbillies. A budget hardware. And they've got everything you can think of in there. They had all their plants outside, like a lot of these places do. But they had, trees too and shrubs that you could buy. And I went over there and looked. Sure enough, they had my white pines. The white pines are the ones I just showed you that had the pollen things on them, the long needles, soft needles. They're not pricky at all. They're real soft. I bought 3 of them, $12 a piece. Unbelievable. You can't buy a tree for $12. And these are like probably 18 inches tall already in pots. So I planted those in my chosen locations around the borders. So one day they'll fill in, just like over on that side of the yard where it's real thick pine over there and I can't see through that mess of pine into the neighbor's property. That's kind of what I want. I want this whole house, kind of other than the pond area, to be enveloped with pine trees that kind of block out any neighbors. Because I know one day the ag field to the south of me here is going to end up being a housing development, because farms are going defunct and the properties are selling out here. The agricultural properties are selling, and they're throwing up these big homes left and right. I mean, and it's encroaching out this way every day. Probably not even 12 miles from here, they're already starting another new housing development. So it's coming, man. It's coming. Not out here yet, but it'll be out here. I'd say within 20 years you're gonna see development out this way. I'm not sure exactly what it'll be, but it'll definitely be different. So I'm fortunate to live in this time when I have, this nice rural country atmosphere that I can enjoy. Peace and quiet back here, uh, without any neighbors, without any barking dogs, or chattering children, or lawnmowers or weed eaters from neighbors. I can hear mowers once in a while, but they're in the distance, so it doesn't bother me at all. I actually have to stop and listen. Like I was saying, I love Rural King. Our Rural King, anyway, well, it's in Worcester, so it's probably a good 30-minute drive for me to get there. But it's worth it to me, and I usually make an afternoon of it because I'll spend a couple hours in the store there just browsing at stuff. But when I walk into the store, they have a popcorn machine, a free popcorn, buttered popcorn. And you get a little bag, and you stick it under the machine, and you push the button, and it fills your bag up for you. And then you can walk around the store munching on this buttered popcorn, which is amazing. Um, they have everything you can think of, though, from clothing, jeans, hats, gloves, uh, work work attire. They got hardware. They got home goods. They have tools. They have gardening stuff, chemicals. You get my pond chemicals there, uh, insecticides and things like that. I get there because it's dirt cheap compared to anywhere else around here. Um, in some places, it's like a third to a half less than what you'd pay at some of these other stores. So you can't beat it. They even have a gun shop there. They have a little gun shop in the back, they actually have a better gun collection than most gun shops that I've been to. Uh, just about anything you might be interested in, they probably would have something, or have something very similar to it. They also sell ammo. They got a whole section for fishing, hunting, trapping, uh, farm stuff. They actually sell chicks and ducks and turkeys there. They got the little chicks, in these big bins. It's a fun store to go to. Camping stuff, automotive section, um, snacks and candies and things like that. Amish goods. So anyway, it's one of my favorite places to shop, and like I said, I can spend a long time there. Well, outside they have brand new Husqvarna lawn tractors or lawn mowers, and they've got the brand new mower there that I want, the Husqvarna, similar to the one that I got. Now the one I got is a 48-inch cut. This one was like a 52-inch or something like that. A little more heavy duty, a little bigger tractor, bigger motor, and I'll be able to mow my yard a little quicker with it. So probably within the next year, I'm going to upgrade my mower, pick up a brand new Husqvarna. I mean, that one served me pretty well. Now, I hear somebody said, "Well, got to go with yellow and green. You got to get John Deere." Well, let me tell you something. Val worked for John Deere for a long time. She sold John Deere equipment, and she told me, she said, "Whatever you do, don't buy a John Deere. They just got too many problems, too many issues. I mean, there's too many warranty issues on those things." And she's talking more about the lawn mowing equipment. I don't know about the farm agricultural stuff, but the homeowner stuff. She said, stay away from John Deere if you're doing homeowner stuff. So I've kind of taken to her word on that. I don't know how true that is. They might be decent machines. You might have a John Deere tractor that served you well over the years. I don't know. It's kind of like Ford, Chevy, Dodge, Chrysler, whatever flips your boat, whatever you like. It's, yeah, if it serves you well and you like it, then wear the t-shirt. So yeah, coming up here. Well, what I'm holding out on is my mother passed away this past year, and she's had a pretty good estate, and that'll be divided up between the five of us brothers, and I'll still get a pretty good chunk of change, and then I'll be able to buy myself the new mower, among a couple other little upgrades that I need around here desperately. So, anyway, that's all I got to talk about today. I'm pretty much out of material for one afternoon. I think I'm just going to sit here and enjoy the rest of the afternoon, and beautiful day. But thanks for watching. I'll keep you guys in my prayers. Those of you who are in need of prayer, definitely. And those of you who don't even want anything to do with prayer, I'm praying for you too. I'll talk about my plans for this summer on motorcycling, by the way. I'm not sure that I'm going to go to Ohio Bike Week again this year. I've gone for the past 2 years consecutively, but really not extremely impressed. But there's another event coming up that I'll talk about in July that I'm definitely going to go to, and perhaps some of you guys want to join me in that as well. But I'll keep you posted about that in a little bit. All right, cats. Well, if you like the video, hit me with the thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please subscribe and join me on this ride. I won't disappoint you. I'll keep you entertained one way or another. Till next time, cats, ride hard and die free.